Hello friends and welcome. In this video, I will be running a little bit of an experiment. So behind me, I have two Bankers boxes full of books that were from Whatnot shows that didn't sell. Most of the stuff is from that big book bundler buyout that I did, in October, and then some other odds and ends as well. And my friend Kay, who you may know here on Reselling YouTube as Passports and Pizza Pies. She is also really big into books, but like the reading aspect of them. And she's doing really well over on Book Talk. And I saw in one of her Instagram stories, her promoting this app called Pango Books. And I was like, hey, I DM'd her and I was like, hey, can you give me a little bit more information about this app? And she was like, it's basically Poshmark for books. I was like, say less. And she says, here, let me show you my metrics. And they looked really good. Of course, she buys and reads a lot of books that are very popular on Book Talk. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But I want to see what'll happen if I put these 70 books on Pango, and if this might be a better resource for liquidating inventory that doesn't sell on Whatnot instead of Second and Charles. Because basically, if I were to sell all of these books to Second and Charles, I would be pretty much just breaking even at that point. And also, so when I made the video, my three-way book selling strategy, I talked about how there were a bunch, I've dialed in what Second and Charles wants, and I would pick those books at the bins and just directly sell them to Second and Charles to buy stuff that would sell better on Whatnot and on eBay. But like I said, I'm hoping Pango will be a better Second and Charles. So that's what I'm gonna do. So these two boxes right here is about 70 books, a mixture of hardcovers and paperbacks. And I'm gonna list them all. It is February 16th right now. And I'm gonna give it 30 days, a month basically. And I'll check in with you guys every week and see where we are. Now, as far as using the actual app, it is just like Poshmark, except a little bit easier to list because it does have the ISBN scanner barcode thing because, all books have barcodes. Or I should say, most books have barcodes if they're published after 1978. The older books won't have barcodes, and those you'll have to type in the ISBN. But most of the books that I have in these boxes, well, actually all of them have ISBN codes. I will say that if you are new to selling books and don't know, I will remind you guys, because I think I've said this before in a video, that you have a mass market. Eileen has decided she needs to play. Of course, she plays with the one squeaky toy. Seriously, okay. So this is a mass market. This is the Sword of Shannara. I've bought and sold this book so many times. It just didn't particularly sell on this Whatnot, and I gave it 3 tries, which is what I normally do. I'll let it run for 3 shows. If it doesn't sell in 3 shows, then I either hold it because this is part of a quartet, and then wait till I get the quartet, or I just resell it to Second and Charles that way. So a lot of book scanners get got, that was such a great sentence, by scanning this barcode. So if you see here, this barcode begins with a 0, which means this is the wrong barcode. You need to go on the inside cover, and you see this barcode starts with a 9. If I turn it to where you can see it better, this barcode starts with a 9. So this is the correct barcode to scan, just in case you decide to do this, because I did it. But I'm gonna go ahead and list all 70 of these books. So the ISBN was really quick. You just enter in a couple of things and then the correct weight, which I would have to do if I listed these on eBay. And that's another thing I wanna talk about. The mass market paperback books, like these ones, at Second and Charles, my personal Second and Charles would give me maybe 10 cents for each book. And I paid, well, these are from the book bundler, so I paid $1 for the books. But again, that doesn't matter because I've already made profit on that. It does matter, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, I hope you guys are getting my drift. So So what I would normally do at that point would be to put them on eBay, because I know Second and Charles is not going to give me more than 10 cents for these. I would only do that if I just wanted to get rid of the books. And so then I would put these up on eBay, or, well, this is a series. I would hold on and wait for book 2 and book 4. She is losing it back there. But I would just put this on eBay then. And what I think that's doing is, oh my goodness. Baby girl. Okay, this is going up here. As I've talked about before, I'm wanting to add more books to my eBay store this year. But I think part of my problem is that I am doing that, but I'm not doing it in the best way. So because I'm adding these low sell-through rate books, low sell-through rate books to my eBay store, it is kind of like maybe tanking my store in the algorithm. So this is another thing that I'm wanting to try. So that way, one, I'm making more money than if I were to sell it on eBay or to Second and Charles. And two, keeping these books at the landfill while also not tanking my store, if that makes sense. So I'm like really hoping that this works because it would just be the most perfect solution. But it is a lot like Poshmark, where you just list the item. They do take 20%, with the minimum amount that they'll take is 40 cents. So if you sell a book for $1, then they take 40 cents out of that. And so you'll make 60 cents. The buyer has to pay for shipping. And that's another thing that I thought was really interesting, is that all of Pango offers, instead of media mail shipping, which is what I could get on eBay because I'm not like a super volume seller, they offer everyone the bound printed matter shipping. So the shipping is cheaper on Pango books than if the buyer were to buy that same book off of eBay. And this is also like a way not to give Daddy Bezos any more money too. So that's like, I guess, kind of what it's being promoted as. Here is my store. You can see here 70 books. I am also, throughout the month, I'm going to the bins twice a week and doing whatnot shows. So I will be adding probably to this number throughout the month, and we'll see how this turns out. And I guess I'll see you in a week to check in and see if this works at all. I'm so hopeful. This would be like the best case scenario if this works. Okay, so it's been exactly 1 week since I listed all 70 of those books up on Pango, and I have an update, a good update. I sold my first book. So this is Pawn of the Prophecy by David Eddings, and I actually sold it for $3, which is about $1 more than what I would have offered it for sale on Whatnot. I did offer this for sale on Whatnot, and it didn't sell there. Like, I offered it for sale on Whatnot 3 times, and it didn't sell in there for $2. And selling it at $3 is twice of what I would be able to sell it for on eBay. So very happy with that. It did take me a minute to figure out how to do the shipping because I don't have the wireless Rolo printer. I have the wired one, but you can access Pango on your desktop. So that is what I did. And I was able to print off the shipping label that way, because they don't email you the shipping label. You have to go through Pango to do that. And then you have to, when you print the shipping label, hide the instructions and then just print directly from the web browser without margins, and you get a label, which is pretty awesome. So this is just to show that I did actually sell it. And you can see here that they do take 20%, just like Poshmark. And so I made $2.40 once this gets shipped off, which is still way more than I would have made either on Whatnot or on eBay. So if this continues to happen, amazing. So now that have sold a book on Pango, I'm going to go ahead and just for this experiment, just only list the stuff that doesn't sell in my Whatnot shows. But if I have more successes within the next 30 days, or I guess 23 days. If I have more successes in the next 3 weeks, then I will start to pull the lower end inventory out of my boxes here, my book boxes here, and put them up on Pango. So I'm really excited. I'm glad it only took a week to get my first sale, and hopefully once I start getting some reviews in, I'll be able to sell more books. So very excited that this might be the solution to my low sell-through rate problem. Hi. So I figured since it's a go now with Pango, as far as I actually sold a book on there after a week, I kind of wanted to show you guys how easy it was to list on here, because it's kind of just like Poshmark, for those of you that are familiar with Poshmark, where they take 20% and they have a minimum, but their minimum is 40 cents. So, you know, not bad. Definitely better than the $3 that Poshmark takes. And then, you know, 20% is fine. And again, all the books that I'm going to be listing on Pango, they're either going to be, I'm either going to specifically source them for Pango, and it would be books I would take to Second and Charles, or they're books that didn't sell on Whatnot and that I'm going to pull from eBay in order to help my store sell through rate. So let me show you how easy it is to list on here. And I'm this close because I have everything set up so that way you could see what I'm doing. And I'm going to have a split screen with what I'm actually like doing on my phone, because you can do everything on your phone, which I have misplaced because I have ADHD, and I put it down and here it is. Okay. So this is the book. It's To Sleep and a Sea of Stars by Poloni, most well known for his Dragon series. It's going to be like very mood lighting because the light box is so bright, but so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this in the light box so you guys can see what I'm doing. If you don't have a light box, there's a ton of people that literally just hold the book in front of a bunch of other books and take a photograph that way. Like, it's really unserious. But I'm gonna open the Pango app. All I have to do is click the sell button down there at the bottom, take a picture, accept the picture, and then I'm turning the book around so I can scan the barcode. It's gonna find the barcode. I select that book because that is the correct book. And then you can add more photos or not add more photos. I'm gonna add more photos because I'm just gonna list it like I would if I was listing this on eBay. So I take a picture of the spine, take a picture of the back, take a picture of the edges, and then I'm going to take a picture of if there's any marks in here. There's no marks. And then I'm going to take a picture of the edition, which is not there. There it is. So then I'm going to take a picture of the edition, hit accept, and then you can see, or you can't, well, you can see because I'm going to have it over here, but I'm going to close this up because you guys are done seeing me take pictures, and that'll make it so you can see my face. And I mean, you maybe don't care about seeing my face, but so it automatically fills stuff in because it has a barcode. It's going to be 1 pound or less. It is not 1 pound or less. It is actually 2 pounds. So I'm going to switch that shipping weight. It's in good condition. It does have a crease on the front cover, so that's what I'm going to put on here. I'm going to put minor shelf edgeware and spine, and front cover is creased. No marks inside. Very unserious. And then they have hashtags, so I'm just going to select all of the ones that are auto-populated because why not? The retail price, for some odd reason, they always do the Canadian retail price, which I find super odd considering it's an American company. It's a veteran-owned American company, which is another positive for this. I think the original retail price is like $18.99 or something like that. $25.99. Okay, so it didn't even do the correct price American. So $25.99, and you can see here, it's $25.99 is the original retail price according to the book. And you can see here where it has like ranges of pricing, which I think is really cool, because it's like got cover damage. Well, it's not cover damage. It's because the front cover is creased. I'm going to put it at $6. But this is the only way you can look up past solds on this site is when you already scan the barcode. So recently sold listings, it shows like the condition and also like the price range that they're being sold for.
So I think mine's fine, especially since I take a lot more photos than most of the people on here. A lot of people on here just take the front cover, honestly. So yeah, $6, I'm gonna list it. Yes, I'm sure it's 1 to 2 pounds. So that's it. That's all I had to do. But that was like super fast, as you guys saw. And I would have only listed that for like $2 on Whatnot. I did only list it for $2 on Whatnot. Didn't sell there, but you can see it has quite the sales history on Pango because it's a younger demographic and more like current readings. Don't get me wrong, like the book that I sold was like a book from the 90s. And again, I sold it for more than what I've sold it on eBay and or Whatnot. And the same thing with this book, when it sells or if it sells, it'll be the same thing. I could list it for more on Pango. So again, I'm not even 2 weeks in yet. So I'm going to continue to hope that this works out for me. But yeah, no, I'm kind of excited as I list more stuff on there. And as I guess finally get the feedback for that one book, I feel like I'll sell more. I just have to like, you know, build my store up just like I do with any other platform. So really excited, and I'll give you guys an update when either I sell something again or at the 2-week mark. So it's been 3 weeks. In those 3 weeks, I have sold 3 books now. All 3 of those were books that didn't sell on Whatnot and were low value books on eBay, and they were also low sell-through rate books on eBay. So the fact that they sold on Pango for double, sometimes triple the amount of profit that I would make on eBay, and then also didn't enter my eBay store to lower my sell-through metrics, amazing. So this has turned out very well. I've also now have 7 followers on Pango, and only one of them is K. So all the rest are organic to the platform. You know, I have over 100 books listed there now, and I'm gonna try something this last week. So I talked in my 3-way book selling strategy that the 3 ways I source at the bins is I source for eBay, I source for Whatnot, and I source for Second and Charles. So the buy sell trade store that's local to me for books and media. And I would like to see if I can make it a 4-way strategy. And I have recently been to the bins with that in mind. And Pango does have this feature where I believe I showed you when I showed you how to list, where you scan the back of the barcode. Books that I would normally give to Second and Charles previously, before discovering Pango, actually were scanning higher on Pango as like had recent solds for really good money, basically what Second and Charles would sell the books for, and they had a lot of recent solds in that price range. So this whole bag of books is books that I would normally give to Second and Charles to turn in for store credit, to turn into books to either sell on eBay or sell on Whatnot. What I'm going to do, all of these books scanned to sell on Pango between $4 and $10, which is what Second and Charles would sell them for. And of course, way more than what Second and Charles would give me for them. So I am going to list all of these on Pango and see what happens. If that brings more eyes to my store, brings more sales to my store, brings more multi-quantity, because so far I've only sold single item. Now I did actually still take a bag of books to Second and Charles, and because those books did not scan either as having previously sold on Pango, or they scanned as only selling for like $2, $3 on Pango. So those I still took to Second and Charles, and the books that I turned into Second and Charles, I paid like $5 for, and they gave me like $20 in store credit. So that's awesome for me personally. So I'm gonna go ahead and list those, and then at the end of this month-long experiment, we will see if this was a good gamble or not. Overall, I'm still super happy with Pango. I mean, even after just 3 weeks, the fact that 3 books have already sold, I have not promoted Pango at all on my channel or social media. I've not told anybody and still have followers and still have made sales. Definitely indicates to me that this is a good move and that all of the lower sell-through rate, lower value books that I have currently in my eBay store, I can take those out now at the end of this. I'm basically just giving myself more work, but overall it's gonna make everything better. So I'm super excited that I get to end this video on an even more positive note, because I actually sold my first bundle on Pango yesterday, and bundles are really easy to do, just like it's super easy to do on Poshmark. So not only are the fees the same, but like the bundling structure is similar. But unlike Poshmark, you can run sales in your store or on your shelves, because it's kind of like shelves. So you can set that as either like spend a certain amount of money, get a percentage off, or spend a certain amount of money, you get free shipping. Like they have a bunch of different like sales that you can do in your store, and you can change them whenever you want. So I set that you get 10% off. You get 10% off your total purchase as long as you spend $10. So this person spent exactly $10 and got 10% off. My favorite thing about this bundle is, one, it was super easy, and two, yet again, just like with the other 3 individual books I sold, all 4 of the books that sold were books that didn't sell on Whatnot, and books that have a low profit margin and a low sell-through rate on eBay. So they were from the Whatnot, and I just listed them on Pango instead of listing them on eBay, which is what I've been doing. I sold 3 Star Trek books, here you can see. I sold 3 Star Trek books and 1 of the Wheel of Time books. I mean, yeah, I could have held out and just waited until I had a whole set of Wheel of Time books, but I don't have the patience for that. And this is awesome. So I made, again, just like with all of the other books, like 2, 3 to 4 times the amount of profit that I could have made selling these individually on eBay, and about what I would make on Whatnot if they had sold on Whatnot, or more. So this is everything that I had hoped it would be. It is a perfect solution. Overall, I couldn't be more pleased. This is exactly the solution I was hoping for. It met my expectations and then exceeded it, because I didn't realize that doing the sales and bundling would have been so easy on this platform. So I now feel confident in taking all of the lower profit stuff, lower sell-through rate stuff that is currently in my eBay store out and putting it on Pango. And the fact that it's also a set it and forget it platform, like I never have to relist these. The ease of Etsy, where you list it one time and it's there forever, and I don't have to like gain any like kind of algorithm for it to work. It's bundling super easy, sales are super easy. Doing the shipping was super easy. Like everything about this is wonderful. And I am so very glad that Kay shared this on her Instagram profile. So Kay, again, I will link her channel down below and tag her, but thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping it would be, and I am going to keep selling on this platform. So I did also want to share that I reached out to them, I think week 2 of this video process, and asked them if they had some kind of affiliate program. I told them I'm going to make the video regardless, because I needed a solution and I was hoping this would be it. And I didn't tell them what I was doing. Basically, I just asked them if they had an affiliate program. They do. I applied and they fast-tracked me through, which was really kind of them. I reached out to Dan, is the person that I found in their marketing team to reach out to. And so they approved me. So I do have an affiliate code. You can use it down below if you use it. My code is B0B. It's Bob, but it's B0B. And then I have, of course, the link. If you use it, I get 2 Pango bucks, which I can use to buy books on the site. And if you use it, you get, I believe, 5 free Pango bucks as well. So just being very transparent there. I reached out to them. They didn't reach out to me. I'm not getting paid for this video. I just really wanted a solution to what I was finding out was a problem, because I want the sell-through rate for my store to be better. I want to put higher dollar stuff on eBay, but I also never ever want to throw away a book if I can help it.
So this way I'm still finding books that would normally be passed on at the stores new homes in genres that I really love and care about, and authors that I really love and care about. Still, I haven't sold any of the books that I listed last week in the last clip that you guys saw. None of the books that I specifically put on Pango for Pango have sold, but I will definitely be checking in with you guys. And now you guys, after this video goes up, will get also eBay sales and Pango sales, because so far I have sold a book on Pango every week. And again, this is like really cool because of the fact that I didn't share this on my social media at all, like zero at all. So every book that I've sold has been an organic sale on Pango. I've already gotten reviews, I've already gotten followers. Like the only follower that I know is Kay. So we followed each other because I was like, hey, I found you. And I was checking her store out before I decided to do this. So everything has been organic, which is great. There's no algorithm to game, there's nothing. It's just a place to sell books that's easy, and I'm so glad that it worked out. Also, that osprey is losing its mind. If you're wondering what that screeching is, it's an osprey. There is a bonded mating pair that comes here every year because there is a house on the water of the James River that has an osprey nesting landing, and they come back every year and build a nest and raise their chicks. And it's really great, but they're loud, and there's like a pine tree in front of the house that they like to bring their fresh fish kills and eat them there, which the dog and the cat both love, because if something falls on the ground, they get the osprey leftovers. So it's more information that you need to know. It has absolutely nothing to do with Pango books, but again, this is great for me. If you're interested in selling books, or maybe just like clearing out your own shelves but don't want to deal with eBay, this might be a thing for you. Like I said, I'm gonna keep using it. This is exactly what I wanted. And again, Kay, thank you for sharing it, and hopefully you guys enjoyed me sharing it in this video as well. And I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye. Bye.